Hey everyone, you are tuning in to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for The Voice. Tonight we're going to be talking about the top 12, which gets cut down to the top 11, so stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for The Voice. Tonight we're going to be chatting about the top 12, which we cut down tonight to the top 11. I am your host. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. Friends, where can they find you?
I'm at the dance club.
You're at the dance club.
This is really how I dance.
Dance some Drake.
Okay. All right, I'm Chris Howard. Reach me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram. Reach out.
Hey guys, I'm Allie Bailey. You can find me on social media, Allie Bailey _1.
All right, team, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Tonight we're using the song that Mark Isaiah actually sang last night. We'll chat about that for sure, as he was one of our ones that needed a Twitter save tonight. So we will get to all of the acts from last night. First was Team Adam's Jesse Larson. May I add, we had Shania Twain as our guest judge, which was pretty spectacular.
I think it was cool. They added a fifth chair for this week's
cool.
episode, and they hadn't done that before, so I thought it was really cool, and a little bit different insight.
Yeah. She was really great with some
I like
of them.
what she does, yeah.
She was really, really good with some of them, especially like some of the young girls, like what she was doing with Aaliyah, and then you even saw her like during Aaliyah's performance, marking it out in her head and like singing the words with her. It was very cute. But first up was Jesse Larson, and he sang Make You Feel My Love, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. It's such a good song.
And Jesse's awesome.
He is, and it was so moving and so powerful. And this is my guy called Beardy McGee. Remember him? And Adam was just like nodding through the whole thing. Like at one point he looks around and he was like, yeah, that's my team. So what do you guys think of him?
I love Jesse. I think that he's definitely going to go far. It wasn't my favorite performance from him, but he has an amazing voice, and I definitely wasn't surprised to see that America saved him tonight. What do you think?
No, Jesse's amazing. So he's probably one of the best voices on the season. And I think there were a couple of times in the song where his voice sounded a little raw or rough toward the end of the song, but he's incredible. Oh, we get to listen to it too.
Yeah, we're just gonna hear a little bit as we're chatting about him. But yeah, I thought he was
amazing.
He's just really talented, and this was a powerful performance. We're hearing just a little bit right now.
He's just got such amazing range and technique and control,
totally.
and I think he's all over it.
And this is the kind of song that's like iconic, and you pick this song if you want it to be really memorable.
Right.
Whereas I feel like some of the song choices tonight were kind of weak. This one was not.
It was a nice one to start off with too.
Yeah, it was a great show opener. It's like a feel good, and yeah, for sure. Next up was also Team Adam. It was Mark Isaiah, who we had his song open actually. Mark has made the interesting choice to kind of choose radio pop songs that are on the radio right now and kind of make them his own and add like an R&B twist.
I think Adam chose this one for him.
Yeah. I mean, last week he sang that low, I forget what it's called, that song. And then this week he sang One Dance, and I thought this one started off rocky, and when I first started listening I was like, gosh, I don't know if I like this, and it got better with time.
I agree with you.
But at the same time we were chatting while we were watching a little bit. You have to do a cover in a way that would make me want to then go out there and buy
this other
version, because like I have the original of One Dance. I don't feel like I need this version of One Dance also, whereas personally I think Stephanie Rice's version of White Flag, which we'll get to, she really made that her own and made it different and like more modern and unique and kind of alternative, whereas this kind of, it did have an R&B twist and he did make it his own,
but it kind of leaves you flat. There's
it didn't move me.
And he wasn't really working the audience, and he wasn't alive in it.
So I thought he had a good, nice dance move.
He
did. Totally working the audience.
He did
it was cool that he put a little different spin on this song. But as we were talking about earlier, for these live performances, you have to pick a song that people are going to want to buy.
Yeah,
and
totally.
and I think that he will for next week. I think him and Adam will collaborate and find a good song. Yeah.
Adam like really fought for him and like he stuck his neck out a little bit for him, and says he doesn't always do that. So hopefully Adam can keep him on for another week.
I think
he did that last
I think
week
what Adam sees in him is really valid. This just, for some reason, he just seemed off his game, and he didn't have ownership of this.
Yeah,
he wasn't a level beyond it. He was trying to reach up to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I still think that like what Adam said when right before he got saved or had the incident saved tonight, that he still has a lot he can show and still win over a lot of America.
Agree.
Like,
Yeah.
I definitely could see him in that final group if he progresses.
We were talking about this a little bit, and I think it's unfortunate because I think Mark is really talented, but I think that the demographic that he appeals to isn't necessarily the demographic that gets on the app and votes. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's young, it's teenagers, and like they're like, they'll tweet about it or whatever, they'll turn up when it comes to like a Twitter save. But I think that the people that are like really voting are the people that are like voting for people like Sundance Head and like people that are like Emily Ann Roberts and Jordan Smith, like people who are like maybe
you're talking the
a
middle
little
of the
bit
country.
older, and people that are a little bit older, you know, that are maybe more invested. Whereas like I feel like the people who are younger necessarily don't even really watch the show live. They'll watch it on YouTube. They'll follow them on Instagram, and
we have to remember also that the West Coast probably wasn't voting, right?
I mean, I did, but that was
Not
because
for
I was keeping up. You know?
Yeah.
Not everyone does.
Okay, we have some people in the live chat. Betsy says she's surprised to see Mark in the bottom two. Why is he not getting the social media savvy tween voters to vote? And then she said Troy is a forward chair turn, lost steam over his voice journey. What do you guys think?
Yes, I agree.
Interesting. I mean, you know, I really do think Troy had a really, really strong night last night. He sang Free Fallin'. He's Team Gwen. We can talk about him really quick just because while we're on the topic.
Yeah, there was some controversy over the song. Some people didn't like the fact that he started off so in falsetto instead of full, really belting it out. Some people didn't like that. Some people did.
I mean, to be honest, like last week when we were talking about him, we saw him as someone that had the potential to maybe go home this week. But he came out and sang Free Fallin' and actually surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised. I genuinely liked that performance. It was actually probably the most I've liked Troy, honestly, up until this point. And the most memorable he's been to me. But I agree with you there. I still don't think it was strong enough to really get him through, and I don't think as a whole he's memorable enough.
That's exactly what because I like, he wasn't a standout for me. I couldn't remember him until this week. Now finally I know, and I'm studying the show. I'm watching everyone I can, and he just didn't stand out to me.
And I think last week we talked about how he was one of the ones that we thought were on the more bottom end. So.
And I think it's just because there's such talent around him. I don't think it's because he's bad.
Yeah.
No, I think he's really, really talented. I'm telling you, I genuinely like this performance. I just think, you know, people vote on this show based on who they've kind of liked all along.
Their story,
their stories,
voice,
and I think that he just kind of didn't really have it from the beginning, even though he had that four-chair turn. I just think that maybe he's not unique, or maybe he's not, you know, I think that there's something maybe missing, but I still think he's really talented, and I'm sorry to see him go, you know. I think that he's great.
Betsy also says, fifth coach chair, Shania, are they testing her to replace Blake as the country music coach?
Oh.
Interesting.
I don't think so. I think this is Blake's show.
Yeah, well, I don't know what
he might
happen.
need a season off, though. You know,
you never know with everything going on.
What would happen if Blake and Adam weren't on it anymore? That'd be crazy because they really
it'd be a totally different show.
Yeah, they've been the only two that have been on it since the very, very beginning, and it's crazy. You know, we actually do a voice on Snapchat now. I don't know if anyone watched that, but they had the winner. His name is Ignatius, and he was on Team Adam, like via the voice on Snapchat.
Right? So, yeah. They announced it in the show.
Yeah,
so does that mean he's going to be on Team Adam when he's on the show?
No, well,
he gets to go through the blinds.
Yeah, I suppose Adam will turn for him, or he should be able to recognize his voice.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're hearing a little bit of Troy as a
fantastic
farewell to him. Yeah. I mean, I also it's really hard for me. I can admit that it's sometimes hard for me to not be biased about vocal quality when I love the song. I love this song, so it's hard for me to be like, wow, that wasn't a good cover. I'm emotionally attached to the song, and so it's hard for me to even sort of say that. I think if any of them sang this, I probably would have loved it. So maybe that's why I felt more connected to Troy this week rather than others, because I'm connected to the song. But
both of his song choices, even on his way out, his his farewell song as well. Great choice.
Great song choice. So I mean, you know what? I think it's one of those situations where you came out and you did the best that you could, and that's all you could do. So
maybe some people are able to connect with their fans easier than others. I mean, I don't know what his fan following is, but that could be type of thing too.
And it's like, what demographic do you hit? Because each one, when you look at somebody like Aaliyah, she's so young that she's going to target a certain place in the mind and the hearts of people, and then you've got a totally different, like a T-Soul, totally different style that's going to target a certain demographic. But who does Troy really hit?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I wouldn't say he's not country.
Right. Like, I mean, but if you're going to vote country, aren't you going to vote for Lauren?
Or Brenly.
Or Brenly? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I honestly completely agree. Next up, we have Team Alicia's Stephanie Rice. She sang White Flag, another song that I am emotionally attached to. This song is like one of the greatest. It's a classic for sure. It's by Dido, I believe is how you pronounce the original artist.
Is it Dido?
Dido?
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless, she's very unique. She's very cool. She's different. She has like a very alternative voice, and I think she's like a cool, strong female in the competition.
She wanted to come on our show last week.
I think.
Yeah, but she got so busy from a media perspective, and then there were. But she still wants to come on the show.
We'd love to have her.
on.
Love to have her. She's a very, very cool girl. What do you think, Allie?
I liked her performance. I did think it was a little. It was very intense watching her because she was so emotional.
Intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie's was really intense, and I found myself while I was watching and listening to her that I enjoyed it more like closing my eyes and listening than watching her, because I felt her emotion a lot watching, and it was a little bit distracting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I read some comments online. People were saying similar things, that she was grimacing too much, and those were distracting mannerisms from what she does. And I honestly, I'd read the reviews before, so then I started to watch it, and I looked for and saw those things as well. It was just like the contortion.
But she has a beautiful voice, and I thought that she did amazing. But I liked listening to it, not watching.
Exactly.
Interesting, and I think that's actually a good point, because the show is The Voice, and that's how they originally pick them for their teams. They
don't see them.
Sometimes when I watch the blind auditions, I purposely don't look until I hear a chair turn around, just because I want to kind of play for myself.
Right.
So I think it's always sometimes to bring it back to that and reel it back in and remember that it is about The Voice. And
well, but I think at some point it becomes beyond The Voice.
It
because,
does.
Yeah, I mean, once the chairs turn,
Yeah.
then it's a new game, and they're selling the whole package.
They do, but like you think about some of the people that have won the show, and they aren't necessarily what you would imagine to be like a classic pop star celebrity. Like Jordan Smith is like not what you would think of when you think of someone who would be a big pop star.
You
but
look
he's
at a Sundance head, you look
but he's had some of the most success out of the show. That I mean, Allison Porter, you look at and you're like, okay, that girl's a pop star, But she kind of grew up in Hollywood, so she's different. But like, I think that Stephanie did a good job with this song, which is not.
She does a fantastic. I mean, when you close your eyes once again and listen, and I'm not putting down the way she looks. She's a beautiful woman. It's just that the performance is a little strained.
Yeah.
A little strained, and
I see that.
Stress.
Totally fair. That makes sense to me. And then next up, we had Team Blake's Aaliyah, who we had here. She's so cute, so sweet.
Yeah.
So full of energy. I didn't know that about
awesome,
her.
yeah.
She's like a spitfire. She was dancing across the stage, walking back and forth. She's saying love is like a heat wave. Personally, it wasn't my favorite of Aaliyah's. I love Aaliyah, and I think last week's was actually stronger for her than this week. But I still think she sounded great. She deserved to make it through. I hope she picks a better song next week, maybe. I think this song was maybe just a little bit of an off choice for her. I still think she had those like really strong high notes. She had great runs. I just think that this was not my favorite of hers, but it doesn't make me like her any less.
She has such a mature voice for how young
Incredibly
and
mature,
spunky and fun she is. Her voice when she sings is so mature. I agree with you. I think that I liked her performance last week a little bit better, but again, not surprised that she made it, easily into next week.
I have to say, I think this is my least favorite performance of hers. I don't think this was her week. She wasn't on, and I think it does have to do with song choice as well.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not wrong, I think it is the coaches that chose the songs this time.
Might have been. I don't know how
I don't know.
But what I think is interesting, though, is the fact that she maybe didn't have the strongest week in our eyes, but still was good enough to make it through.
Right.
And, and that shows there's like her
She's
consistency.
awesome.
Yeah,
the consistency over
she's
time,
still,
right?
Yeah, she's still able to, bring the votes in and draw in her audience.
That's how I've started voting now, is just who do I like the most. Like I'm not looking at individual performances
Yeah, we
anymore.
talked about that.
Yeah, we were talking about how people are kind of sticking with their people no matter, which I think, like, for example, we talked about this a little bit earlier. We didn't think it was Lily's best performance, but she has a following that loves her. And
this wasn't her week. I mean, she was sick. She's been sick. I guess they had her on hooked up to IV before, and she was pretty. It
was
sick.
impressive that she was still able to come on live TV and perform.
Right. I mean, did you see her face at the end, like when they're going into the judging? She just looked like she had already lost.
Had to lay down.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't even in the bottom two.
Ready to lay down.
Yeah. So,
and I like Lily. I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, me too.
Next up was Team Alicia's Chris Blue, who, you guys, I think he might win this thing. Like,
He
when
is amazing.
When I watch him, I'm just like, this is someone that I could see winning. I'm at that point now in the competition where I feel like I'm starting to be able to gauge that. He's saying love and happiness. Like, we were talking about this a little bit when we've talked about him in the past, but he is a pure talent. This is like a God-given gift that like he just seems so effortless.
He can get his voice so high, and it sounds so good. Like, I don't know the right terms for that, but it's amazing.
hits it.
Yes, and it's like natural for him. And I'm just like, how do you do
he really
that?
Does.
Yeah, I think you know what's interesting is we all have the styles that we lean toward. And I was watching him and Vanessa together because they're both, Vanessa's a technician, he's a technician. They both have such supreme use of their vocal instrument, such incredible use. But the style that he does is not my style, as much as like Jay Chosen was. Jay Chosen was a style that I could relate to. I like that kind of, who were they comparing Jay Chosen to? Was more of a raspy, bluesy type, and I lean more toward that. The style that Chris Blue does isn't my thing. I can tell he's great, but I just don't like it that much. I don't like that style. It's like when we were listening to the country singers last season, and it was like, no, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I know that. You like definitely take some, take something to really connect to an artist.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No,
So, I mean, but I can appreciate his artistry, but it's this style wasn't mine.
Yeah, I mean, I
He's
just
incredible.
Think, yeah, he's really, really talented.
Very good.
Whew. Yeah, he kind of I don't even know who to compare him to necessarily, but like he can get high in the vocal range like Adam Levine can. Like he can get up there, which is impressive because the range that he has is just spectacular.
And just to do it with ease and just bounce back.
That's what I said. It's like more
and
like it's like a gift that he has. Like not everyone can sing like this. This is something wicked, but yeah, this was Chris Blue for the evening, and I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
I see him in the Final Four.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Next up was Team Blake's Lauren Dusky, who I also see in the Final Four.
She was smooth
She
tonight.
sang,
She was like,
sang, Lord, I hope this day is good, and I just like her voice. I'm not a big country fan. I don't think either of us really were lessons, but I like Lauren. I really do. I think that sometimes country is like a little nasally or like a little whiny. She sings it like creamy and smooth.
She has like
nice.
I think they said this in an episode. She has such a like seasoned but calm voice, and it's like it's relaxing and nice. It's pleasant
like
to the
mature
ear.
and soothing, and it's just like she sounds like a country artist that's just been out there.
Like,
and
is she
owned
playing
the
at
scene.
Stagecoach this weekend? Like, I
Right,
think
yeah.
so. It sounds like it.
I also thought it was really cute how happy she was to like speak with Shania, and she really appreciated that in their
it was really
interaction.
special. Yeah, I'm sure that's like someone that she's looked up to for forever.
For sure.
We're hearing a little bit of her now.
Shania's amazing. Shania's really
She's a
cool.
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like an icon in country music and just in music in general.
I saw Lauren was on, I think it was Facebook Live, and I kind of looked at it for a little while, and she was there in glasses, reading glasses, no makeup, and it was just kind of cute because she was talking to people saying,
Candid.
yeah, we got to vote, you got to go out and vote. Yeah, very candid, very up close and personal.
It humanizes them because some
Yeah.
of these are like all these glamored up, and like the reality is like these are people that are like a student or a teacher or whatever. Like
Right.
these are supposed to be people that are just like you and me that have this ability that they're now showcasing.
Right.
It's not all of them are like singers or whatever as their profession is. So it's nice to be able to kind of see them kind of who they actually are.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't like the nose rings so much.
Oh really? I love it. I think it's
I used to think they were really cool because they added edge. I think there's other ways to add the edge because the nose ring, it just looks like it's going to be unsanitary.
Oh,
it's going to get in the way.
I like it. I think
it
it's
throws
cute.
the symmetry of the face off.
Do you know what it? Well, what's nice is you could always take it off. It's not like a tattoo.
Right.
It's not permanent. But what I find interesting about her is like if you saw her and you started walking around, like you wouldn't like peg her like, oh, country singer. Whereas I feel like if you saw Brenly, you'd be like, if that girl sings, it's got to be country, Whereas Lauren, I could be like, she could be like an indie artist, or the nose ring kind of adds like maybe she does like, pop or something.
Maybe we'll see more of that as it goes.
Maybe
I'd
love
they'll
to
try
see
to
her.
experiment with
That'd
it
be
a little
good.
bit more.
Actually, that'd be neat to have her.
Yeah,
experiment.
they sometimes do have, they had, was it Aaliyah sang a country song? She sang Before You
Right.
Cheat, so it'd be interesting to maybe see someone like Lauren do maybe a pop song with a
That'd
country
be cool.
twist. That would be very cool.
very
I'd
cool.
love to see that. Next up was Lily, who we were just talking about. Man, I Feel Like a Woman is what she's saying. She's on Team Adam. I thought it was good. I know she was sick, but I felt like not only was she maybe a little bit under the weather, but it felt like a karaoke performance to me a little bit.
It
Might have been
really fell flat.
It might have been the song choice, but I couldn't help but think like this kind of sounds like she's like up there doing a karaoke.
Right. I'm such a big fan of Lily, but it felt completely flat. And you know, you got Shania Twain there, and I just keep thinking of Shania's version, and Shania's she comes out, she's like, come on, girl. Dun, 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 dun. And this was just kind of like, come on, girls.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought
flat.
it was fun, and I think that she's very gorgeous, but I agree with you that
The energy
Yeah.
level was like 4 points under Shania.
Would you give her the benefit of the doubt because she
But
wasn't
she was
feeling
sick.
well? And
She was
I think,
really sick,
I
yeah.
think that like she did maybe get some sympathy vote for that because people know she's talented and want to give her a shot. So
Yeah.
let's hope she gets what she, you know, obviously deserves, which was going
Yeah.
through. So
No, I think she must have been hating life at this point. I think she was so under the weather that.
yeah, it must have felt like a flu or something. But hopefully she's feeling better. Shout out to you, Lily. I'm
But you
glad
can imagine, I mean,
glad
how
you're
much
going through
stress there is at this time too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's no wonder
yeah.
more of
They're
them
not
don't get sick.
sleeping,
you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, especially with like having to perform live.
yeah, it's a totally different game now. But I'm excited that she's moving on, and I'm excited for her performance next week because I'm a fan as well.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's good that I think that she would have been really upset forever if like she didn't make it through and it was because the week she was
Yeah.
sick. And even if maybe that wasn't the reason, like maybe that just was a poor song choice or something. Like I think she would have never been able to live with that.
Right.
So I'm glad she gets to go through and can like kind of see next week out properly. And if as far as she'll go, hopefully she'll be feeling better. And hopefully no one else catches whatever she had.
Right.
'Cause it sounds icky. Next up was Team Gwen's Brenly Brown, Gwen's only girl. She
Brenly's
sang-
awesome.
She is. She sang Long Time, and she's super cute. My only thing with Brenly is I think she's very talented voice, but I think it sounds young still. It's a little nasally. It's a little like, I think if I had to choose a female country singer right now, I'd choose Lauren. And I do think, we talked about this, I think they kind of split the votes a little.
Yeah, I was
Like,
at what point are
people are gonna start
people
voting
gonna
for
start
one or the
Right.
other.
because they're gonna start they draw the same crowd, so
It's like the
it's
mother
gonna
and the
start
daughter.
it's gonna start to happen because as less and less people are in the group in the lives, people are gonna start
Picking favorites.
But
yeah.
that's what you said. They draw the same
Yeah.
crowd, and that goes back to Troy. Who's his crowd? And I don't see any crowd for him. That's
I mean,
like-
it's not that I don't see an audience room. I just don't think that those kind of people necessarily will be voting or tuning
Right.
into The Voice.
Yeah.
It's more of like an alternative. But yeah, Brenly's very cute, very sweet, and very talented.
She's
for her age.
amazing.
She's 15. Like, she's tiny.
insane.
Really, really good.
And
Has
she's
a lot
just
of
got
control.
such a great personality.
Yeah,
She's
it's
bubbling
infectious.
with joy.
It's
You know,
infectious.
yeah, it's really
It's
neat.
obvious that she's like so happy to be there, which makes people want to continue watching her. So that's great. I'm really
I think her
glad.
personality sings louder than she does.
That's a good point, and I think that goes back to what you said about it having to be the full package at this point.
Right.
I think that Brenly does have the it factor, and like, come on, with a name like Brenly Brown, you're going far, far in the country world. That's like a perfect name for that. My sister's name is Mackenzie Ray, and I was like, you should just be a country singer.
You're right.
Come on, you have the name
You
for
have
it.
the name, that's
Brenly Brown has it too. But yeah, she was great, fun to watch. Glad she's going through. We'll see more of her next week. Next up was Team Blake's T-Soul.
I'm a big T-Soul fan.
Yeah,
he's fun.
He's
I
saying
like
always
watching
on my
him.
mind. What do you like about this one?
Well, first of all, I think I've mentioned this before about him. He's so humble when he performs, and I think I don't know. I think he has a very good voice, and I think he's also like a good performer on stage. Whether it's with like a slow-paced song or fast-paced song, he knows how to draw the audience in.
I think he's definitely a good performer. I think he plays on the runs and the riffs too much. So like he throws it in right from the beginning, which dilutes their power at the key moment. So for me, it's once again one that's not my preferred style, and I think it takes away. It becomes distracting when you're doing it every note. That's
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying on that note. Yeah, but I mean,
but he's a great performer.
I still think he was a great performer. Yeah, I think he's well deserving to go on. I mean, at this point, it's like they're all so good, and they only had to eliminate one this week, so it's great that we get to see all of them, more of them next week. And I wasn't super connected to this song choice either. There were really only a few tonight that I felt super connected to the song. I'm hoping that next week there may be some more that I feel like excited about, but we'll see.
Betsy says in the live chat about Brenly that she peaked on the hot and on iTunes at number 7, the only one that was in the top 10, which is interesting.
That helps you now at this point.
With the voting, yeah.
Yeah, I think that it multiplies your votes by like 10. or
Yeah,
something
so
crazy.
getting in that top 10 on iTunes is like a big
And
deal.
Brenly
that's-
was the only one.
Brenly was the only
Wow.
one.
That's the
Yeah.
goal at this point for them. Honestly, it's like not only do they want to make it through, but these he's top 12 or top 11 now, must start breaking the iTunes charts and stuff, because that's like how they really end up winning. The ones that are up there week after week are the ones that are going to end up winning, because
I think the bump you get is huge if you're in
that's
iTunes,
what I mean.
right?
You got to sell though. That's what we were talking about. Like, you can't just do a cover and do it well. You have to do it well enough that people want your version.
See, there's strategy to that. You're right.
You know the best one still to this day, and I bought it and I still have it, is Sundance's version of My Church. Which is Maren Morris's song, which is a very popular song, and he sang it at the time that it was popular on the radio, which is even harder to do, because that means you're not only competing with, other people, but you're literally competing with the artist that originally sang the song. So
see, I thought the best one was Hannah Houston's "Every Breath You Take."
Oh, love that.
Oh my God, I got
Team
that.
Pharrell, I love
I've
him.
never downloaded a song before, and I downloaded that and I listened to it.
But you remember those? Like, we need to start having some of those performances that are memorable enough.
I get that a little bit from Hunter.
You do?
Hunter's amazing. Hunter, I want Hunter. I actually would like to see Hunter win.
I would too. We can talk about Hunter right now. He's Team Gwen. He sang somebody that you used to know.
Jordan Smith Chandelier.
Oh, that's, yeah. Well, come on. Yeah, that was his blind audition. It was amazing. But yeah, Team Gwen's Hunter.
Hunter's like a different kind of beast.
Yeah, he sang somebody that I used to know, and wow, I mean, could not have been a better song choice. He not only made it his own, but also honored the original, and like, it was so cool, and they almost felt like the stage worked with it so well. It was very well thought out.
Kind of gothic
Hunter,
looking.
like, I don't know what kind of artist he is, what genre he is. He puts a Hunter spin on everything, and I totally agree with you. I think each week it's been more and more impressive, and his song choice has been spot on.
It's been so good for him.
Doesn't he remind you? Like, I kind of think of like Coldplay.
Yes, I do actually. That's a very good observation. Yeah, I think it's like, I enjoy him, and he's quiet. You know what I mean? Quiet in the sense that, like, it's nothing flashy. He's just like purely talented, and he's the kind of guy that, like, maybe needed a platform like this, but I think that he has a lot of potential to, like, really go places after this show.
I think right now he's in my final four.
Yeah.
Hunter.
You just love to listen to it. It's like
I see Hunter and Lauren and Chris Blue. Yeah, we'll figure out our predictions at the end, but yeah.
I love this song too.
Me too.
Listen to that note as he hits it.
He makes it his own.
When they do a song that you already love and you still love it,
Right.
that
You love it
really
more.
shows. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, because, like, so with,
I just want to listen to the whole song tonight.
I would actually love to hear him cover Coldplay.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, because I love Coldplay, and there are certain artists that you're like, oh, I don't want them to cover them, and sometimes I feel like that with Coldplay, but I think Hunter would honor it, in a good way. And then I believe last up for the night was Team Alicia's Vanessa Ferguson, and she sang A Song for You.
I thought this was fantastic.
She was in a power suit. She has a powerful voice, and she sounds good. She's gorgeous. Personally, she's not my favorite, but I think that she must be a lot of people's favorites because she's so talented.
Her personality distracted from everything, but I think she softened up a little bit because Alicia talked to her about that. And tonight I just wanted to experience I love this song, number one.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
A Song for You.
Michael Bublé sings this all the time, but she did it fantastically. So it's like, okay. And she seems to be softening up, so I like her more than I did in the beginning.
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance. I'm not a huge fan either, but she does have an amazing voice, and it was strong for her.
Yeah.
It was strong. I really enjoyed watching her. I mean, she's the kind of person that you kind of, like, I can imagine myself just, like, driving and, like, listening to her sing, like, it's like.
That's the thing. That's what I go back to Chris Blue when I said I didn't like the style as much. I wouldn't listen to that. This, I absolutely would listen to, and I'd love it.
Yeah.
This is excellent.
See, my thing with Vanessa though is she definitely needs, I think, to warm up to the fans a little bit more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's personality.
And I think
you have to be able to show a big personality to get more of a following and to win the show.
I think she also needs to do something that, I don't know what, which doesn't really help anyone, but, like, I just feel like she needs to do something that, like, kind of maybe will set her apart a little bit. Because I feel like as talented as she is, I feel like I've heard voices like hers on this show before, and a lot of them I have, but then you look at someone like Hunter and I'm just like, I haven't heard someone like that before. And even someone like Mark Isaiah is, like, doing something different, and he's taking a risk, whereas this kind of seems like, we've heard people with similar voices, similar styles, it doesn't really do much thing.
I'm imagining tuning the radio, and if you stopped and you heard this, you'd listen.
But you wouldn't really know who it is.
It could be anybody. It could be elevator music, right?
Totally. I
But
agree.
if you heard Hunter, you'd be fuck yeah.
Right? You would stop yourself and be like, who is that?
This is good.
Yeah. Totally. I agree. So now that we've kind of gone through everyone, we've kind of like sort of done some predictions, but let's chat about our maybe top 4 who we think. Do you want to go first? You kind of have your three down.
Okay. Even though Mark was in the instant save tonight, I do think that he still has a lot of time left on the show. I think that he's going to get better and better each week, and I love watching him. I do think that he has an amazing voice. And I think that he's also a great performer. Like, he knows what he's doing on the stage, and he has confidence in himself, and you can see that. I definitely am a Chris Blue fan. I think he will go a long way. He's just so, like we said earlier, naturally talented. Lauren Dusky, I think, will definitely be, and she's in my top 4, and I think she'll go really far. And then my last one in my top would be who is it? Mark?
Oh.
Okay. This is The Voice.
You don't need to have 4. It's just like your
Mark,
top few.
Mark, Chris, Lauren, and Hunter.
There we go.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say
my
actually
top 4.
I would actually say I think I agree. I would have Hunter and Chris. Lauren and Brenly are pretty interchangeable for me at this point. It's gonna be one of those two. I don't know which one, because I think a female country singer is gonna go for. I just can't pick which one. And then maybe my last would be, I don't know. I could see Stephanie Rice going far if she maybe softens a little bit for next week, similarly maybe to Vanessa. But you know what? I actually could see Jesse. I think I'm gonna pick Jesse because he
something else
appeals to an audience that I think Troy was trying to appeal to, that maybe was more of a miss, and Jesse's more of a hit.
And now maybe Troy's following will
then cater to
Jesse. Yeah.
Will then bandwagon on
the
Jesse.
Sundance. The Sundance.
Yeah,
trial,
and those people vote. Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, everyone, there's some people right now. Everyone in the live chat, tell us who your top 4 is.
I got to tell you mine.
Yeah, tell us yours.
Okay, number 1, I want Hunter to win.
Yeah.
So I've got him to win. Number 2, I actually like Mark Isaiah. Number 2, and I'm gonna put Vanessa in there, and I'm gonna put right now I don't know how to evaluate Lily because of the sick week. So I would put either Lauren or Brenly in there as well.
Okay, Betsy here says her faves for the top 4 are Hunter, Chris, Lauren, and Jesse. We're pretty much have the same pool.
I keep forgetting Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of forgot about Jesse too because we talked about him first, but then I saw his name and I was like, I forgot you are a star. So yeah, I'd love.
Do you still have a team? Because you
look
lost
at my
your team last time.
Yeah, my team is epically failing right now. When Darby went home last time, my whole team was like down the drain.
She lost her whole team last season. Yeah, she had no team. I have 4 people left.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
That's not bad, huh?
I think I have like 2. I missed.
I've got Ilea, Lauren, Lily, and Hunter.
I had Felicia Keys.
I have 4 or 5 left.
Okay, you're just like me.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah, you don't have points on yours. That's so weird.
Because I didn't link it up to my Facebook. So.
Oh, you wanted to be private.
Well, if any of you guys who are on the live chat or anyone who's tuning in, if you want to continue the conversation about all of these folks on The Voice, where can they find you guys on Twitter and Instagram?
Find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram, interestingly enough.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey guys, I'm Allie Bailey. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, AllieBailey_1.
And my name is Dani Golub. You can find me everywhere at Dani Golub. It's been great. We'll see y'all next week. We'll talk about top 10s.
Tune in.
See you soon.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.